to the Festival
of Storytellers.
I can't tell you how excited I am to be on right now. It's been a couple of weeks of excitement, getting prepared, and I've done a lot of things in my life, but this has got to be close to the top.
Thank you, Reader's Magnet, and thank you, John, for putting this forth and taking the chance on us authors in presenting this out to the world.
I've enjoyed this immensely, Joanne.
Ellie, so have I. Thank you for who you are, and thank you, Reader's Magnet. You all are beautiful, and you've worked so very hard, and we are blessed.
We are.
I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers. We thank Reader's Magnet and everybody that's involved. I love Reader's Magnet. They say, we share your stories with the world.
Yes, greetings, Amanla. This is Quinton Crawford. I am the author of the book that you just saw one of my book promos of. Here is the actual book, physical copy of it. Hopefully you can see through my camera. There you go. It's not too huge, not too small, just enough, and it's my first book that I've written. It's approximately 300, just about 300 pages, close to that. And I have a lot of information to share. This is all designed to help you and our world. Book again is titled Knowledge for Tomorrow, a summarized commentary of world history, nature, health, religion, organized crime, and inspiration for the youth. The amount of time that I have with you may not be enough to cover all of the subject areas, all the subsubject areas. I probably be able to touch on organized crime before we end, but youth and religion may take quite a bit of time. And as I explained to you, first about this book. This book is a proposal for revolutionary progression of the truth. It is a unique, as I was told, encompassing synthesis, unifying ethics, world history, ecology, humanities, common sense, education, and liberty. A little further, it addresses the urgent problems facing humanity and the rest of our planet. humans are not the only life forms on this world. You all know that, I'm sure. Such as disrespect for nature, negative culture domination, scientific corruption, organized crime, miseducation, racial pathology, and information selectively hidden from the general public. Furthermore, it shows some solutions to these problems and leads you towards the development of other ideas. Now, I know I don't know everything, and no individual can know everything. It's completely impossible. But I've spent, let's see, I think it took me about 2 years to complete this book. Research, back research, re-research of issues that I was covering. I've been covering in this book. And this was published in 2005, and I'm in the process at this very time to do a completion of Volume 2. Now, in order to really make sure that you know me as the author, and it's open right now for questions. Right now, you can question me, type in questions in the private chat, or any social media that you may be using right now to watch me or listen to me. I created a poem many years ago. It still applies to now. An introductory poem titled "My Nature." Study calls me to learn of my mothers and fathers in Africa, brothers and sisters in Asia, nieces and nephews of Europe, uncles and aunts among the natives of the Americas, and purity of spirit through all faiths. I honor all study that inspires the call for peace, truth, justice, and responsibility. Faith calls me to act in directions to correct wrongs in life. Faith inspires me to enhance the day and night. Faith inspires me to direct prayers to improving myself. Faith inspires me to direct balance to remove obstacles from my path. Let me stop there for a moment. A little later on, I'll be talking about faith systems. And, I've studied as many as I could possibly reach into. Question here. Fairgoer 2178. Do you know how are we with addressing the issue on global warming? Okay, I'm not sure I completely understand the direction of this question, but I not to say within this book I do address global warming or climate change. I always consider that very concerning and high focus. More and more over the years, it's been a greater focus of my life, in my life. We continue on, finishing this paragraph. Faith inspires me to create positive environments in the world around me. Faith inspires me to motivate honorable actions among the youth. I am honored to reach. Faith helps me balance my place in the universe to make way for the new. Okay. Stop there with that. And the issue a moment ago was a question about global warming, climate change. Hopefully that was the um, direct directive towards from that question statement that was just made. Okay, I see here. Okay. I have a question concerning one of my other books, my children's book, which I've created. I'll show a picture of that. As a matter of fact, I may go ahead and show a picture of the home page of my website. So I show all books at the same time. This is my children's book, Fairgoer 2164. And there's a question saying, what are the I believe says cultures that Muchi the Suchi had visited in the book, and why those cultures? Okay, this book. Thank you for stating your interest. She visited some ancient civilizations in part 2 of the book. In part 1, I decided to introduce approximately 14 languages to children out there that may get a chance to have this book. Yoruba and the languages in Nigeria, Arabic, their culture there. She basically visited Iran and Yemen. Came into ancient North America and visited the Cherokee. She had some friends in China, near the Yellow River. She came to Mexico, into the state of Mexico called Michoacan. My best friend is from there. To Japan. This was northern Japan. Met a young girl named Natsuko. Now, I don't want to give away the entire book right now, so I'll sort of stop right there. She did went to Hawaii, Oahu, and some people there. India, Ghana. And the question I'm trying to answer is, what cultures did Muchi, the young alien girl in my children's book, where did she go? What people did she meet? She went down to South Africa. After that, went to Zulu. She went up into Europe to meet a Dutch boy named Patrick. She went to Vietnam. Met a girl there in Hai. Went to Peru, and a nation of South America. Meet a girl named Caillou. And last child she met is in the Philippines. She met a boy named Dago. This book is written more toned towards girls, because that was one of my main concerns as I was developing this book. Now, I don't want to go too far away from this book I'm presenting about now, but this book, on the very front cover, I have children of various cultures and some landmarks. Up on the top, there's a set of boys that are reading in the grass. I believe this was in a Tanzania area, southern Africa. Next to that, a picture of some basically Buddhist teens and adult in a prayer chanting session, their faith system. Native American girl next to Moochie. Another African boy next to her, and some other children below. From Central America. I believe the girl is from Guatemala. And several other children from other places. We'll see a multicultural book. All my books are essentially multicultural in nature. I don't like leaving anybody out. And I'm anti-racist, anti-specious as well. I have a question here from Kim. Can you further explain the simpler terms in 2 degrees Celsius global temperature target? And are we near in meeting that target? Scarily and sadly, yes. We are getting closer and closer to 2 degrees Celsius temperature rise. The higher the rise in is seemingly small levels of temperature increase or change, we say, the stronger, and this is the reason why this is mentioned, the stronger any potential storms, such as hurricanes and tornadoes, and more random as well in location. Those types of storms will be. And that also includes the melting of the polar caps and other glaciers around the world. The Himalayas, Greenland, Iceland, and so on. Antarctica has lost a highly considerable amount of ice and melting fresh water into the ocean. Gradually, the oceans are rising. I have that information directly, most recently, up until 2020. I have a chart of that information in the book, The Global Situation. Let me show you that. Actually, I'll show you it now. I don't have that website up at the moment, so I can't. Actually, yes, I can. Let me close a tab on my laptop here while you're watching me, and I'll open up my actual my website. And it's open now. I'm going to share the screen with you of my website. You see what it looks like. Those of you that are watching, I'm just giving, there you go, showing my screen from my website. Just trying to make sure I got these other ad things off the screen. Okay. All right. So this is the home page of my website, oneglobalbook.com. And here are all three of the books that I've published. Sure, the animation that I have in the background is enticing, attractive. We know this place. This is our world. I kind of shocked some students a few weeks ago when I said I love this place. Don't you love this place? I have to say I do. In a sense, we're all married to it. This is where we come from. This is our home. And we must do everything we can to protect it and make sure it's prosperous and prospers. Let me get off of this website. So back to myself. There we go. In praise of others and in tradition, as in many other cultures, traditions, I have decided to list as many or all, probably most, I think here, of the individuals and organizations which I give thanks to. Oops, I have a question here before I go there. Fairgoer 2178 asks, is it true that there are still unknown viruses like those they said that were frozen in Antarctica for a long period of time? Answer is yes. But sometimes some people ask the question out of fear. In case those of you that just heard me say the question that was just asked by Fairgoer 2178 about viruses that are maybe unknown, frozen or locked in the ice in Antarctica, I'll just say yes, there are. But remember, this is a different time frame than way back than when those viruses may have been frozen down there. The viruses from back then, back in several ages ago, any viruses in there would be from near around the time of the dinosaurs. And being the life forms that we are now, may not be of any danger to us. Fairgoer 2178, what do you think are the potential effects of those viruses to humans? As I just said, I'm sorry I didn't read that before what I just said there. New viruses that may be found or may be released, possibly inhaled or attached to clothing or whatever of scientists or whomever or whatever that are down in Antarctica. And remember, that is usually over 1,000 miles away from any other land base. The closest, let's see here, closest is Antarctica. The next closest would be South Africa and South America. Most of the life forms back that existed that were not macroscopic, when the time the viruses had been frozen in Antarctica, in that location, were around reptiles, not mammals. I have a question from Kim. Let me take a sip first of my drink. Good tea. Kim, do you believe that some countries are developing viruses or diseases in case war may erupt? Okay, so biological warfare is what we're talking about here in this question. Before I'll go back to my Knowledge for Tomorrow book in a moment. Okay, there we go. I had a call I had to suspend. There we go. I'm still got to suspend it. There we go. All right. I would say, to answer your question, Kim, about biological war, several nations already have developed nuclear war and also biological warfare capability. The United States has it. Of course, Russia logically most likely has. We don't have spies there as far as I know, but maybe we do. And there are several other nations in Europe and China, possibly a few other nations, Middle Eastern, as we term them, nations. Maybe a few may have something, and so on. Okay, another question from Lee. Thank you for answering those questions. I learned a lot from you. You're welcome, Lee. That's why I'm here. Someone came in the door. Yeah, there's quite a few things we need to be concerned about. Our world's governments definitely need to follow the rules, which we've all laid out for each other in contract and so forth. The United Nations has and there's been meetings in the United Nations and agreements, nations of the world, especially those that are highly industrialized or so forth, as we're termed, G7 and G8, so on, have made agreements to not develop those kinds of weapons or use them if they have them. But it doesn't mean that no one won't. And we the people, all nations, need to be watching or make sure our government leaders, or if we can call them that, know that we're watching and we do not want them to violate the rules. Okay, Lee, your question, Lee, you said, what's your greatest advice you can give, especially for us in the new generation, about helping saving the planet? I believe you're referencing to saving life on Earth, or saving humanity. Saving the planet itself, the planet itself is not in too much danger. But the life forms on the biosphere, on our world are. There are organizations all over the world that we as humans are created because we've been the ones causing much of the damage. I'd say my greatest advice is to join an organization that helps others, or helps our world, or other life forms. When it comes to just birds, there's the Audubon Society. when it comes to most land life. I would suggest the Sierra Club as one of the organizations to consider joining. World Wildlife Fund, in some way, join and help them. There's petitions all over the internet to help this or that thing happen. When it comes to climate change itself, two things I suggest. One is the browser on your internet. Could be changed to one called Ecosia, ECOSIA. Again, that's ECOSIA. When you're done here, you look them up, and you can change your web browser from Google to Ecosia. The reason why I say that is that you can read all the information about it yourself, but in general, use of Ecosia helps fund poor people around the world to plant trees in deforested areas. And well, it's a great way to help the poor, for one, and great way to fight climate change. Trees are one of our greatest defenses against the radical wrongs that we've been causing with carbon emissions into our atmosphere. It's another thing, our atmosphere. Oxygen levels on our planet are dropping. Plants produce oxygen. We breathe in oxygen. Other life forms do as well. Dogs, so on. And snails. If we do not have oxygen, what happens? You can make your guesses on that one, or maybe you already know. If you can't breathe, you die. Mushrooms or fungi, another family of life in this world, help in producing ozone. People didn't know that. Okay, I have a question, a statement here from the store manager. Thank you. Now, people ask a lot of different questions related to the other two books. That's great. Now, this book I want to get more into, but you can figure out some things from the book promos that are all available on the website and the information that's there. Okay, it's time now for the second promo of the book Knowledge for Tomorrow. Hope you enjoy.
Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Ashe Harambe. This is Quentin Crawford, author of the book Knowledge for Tomorrow, giving you a short mention before I move on. Please, any of you out there that have the access and ability to do this, please take special note to anyone reading this book, or maybe able to read this book, Knowledge for Tomorrow, or a connection to any movie production. It is time that historically correct movies documenting the true lives of people like King Taharka, Queen Nzinga, Nat Turner, the true Hannibal, Marcus Garvey, Emilio Zapata, the ancient Hawaii, Che Guevara, and the conquest of Mexico, the Nubians, and so on, be made today and now. The time is right. information is readily available. The audience is here. And the worth to humanity is enormous. Movie sales for things like Alexander the So-Called Great, Indiana Jones, and other movies like that glamorize thieves are no longer truly relevant for the progress of humanity. They're only relevant for the pride of the people of thieves. It's time to create movies for reality and for the true heroes of humanity. Amanna.